Hello and welcome to the morning sports briefing here on Thursday, the 13th of May. Hi, I'm Paul and I'll be your host this morning here on New Zealand Sports Radio. In the news today, we'll be having a look at, covering off on the rugby with the Women's Rugby World Cup announcement from yesterday. There's also basketball action from the NBA and the NBL. Cycling across over there in the Giro d'Italia, as well as hockey news, as well as about new fixtures for the Black Sticks. This is your best way to start the day. Up to speed with all of the important sports news. And let's kick off with the news for the Black Sticks. They will be already had a Trans-Tasman competition that's lined up against the Australian men's and women's sides taking place in Palmerston North between the 27th of May and the 1st of June. They will also now be travelling over to Perth for double headers on the 26th and 27th of June for a double header of games there. That will be part of the FIH Pro League that was postponed from Anzac Day. So those extra two fixtures there for the Black Sticks ahead of the Olympics. So some good match practice for them, which is great news. Let's head over to Italy for the Giro d'Italia, and it was a sprint stage today, and with Australian Caleb Ewan coming out on top, picking up his first stage victory of the 104th Giro d'Italia, and his fourth stage victory in total. He beat Italians Nizzolo and Viviani in that sprint. Damaki retained the overall leader's jersey, but Mikel Landa, unfortunately, due to a crash, and also Pavel Sivkov, both overall contenders, lost time on the day due to crashes. So some nervous peloton there. Moving on then to the basketball, and over in the NBA, it was a packed day yesterday with 11 games. Some of the key games there, so the Bucks beat the Magic 114 to 102. The Lakers see off the Knicks 101 to 99. Also, the Clippers saw off the Raptors 115 to 96 as well. Steven Adams' Pelicans were not in action in this one. Looking at the tables then, and the 76ers still lead the Nets, Bucks, and Heat. All of those teams have made it into the playoffs. Over on the Western side, and the Jazz, Suns, and Clippers. So, Jazz, Suns, Clippers, and Nuggets lead there. All of those teams also have made it into the playoffs as well. Keeping with basketball and moving over onto the NBL, and the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix took on the Breakers yesterday. It started out very tight, 19 all in the first quarter, before the Phoenix took the lead in the second quarter and held on to it through to the end, winning the game 91-82. The Breakers were led by Finn Delaney with 32 points, with support off the bench of Robert Lowe with 19, and McDowell White with 14 points, but that was not enough for the Breakers against the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, which had contributions from more players. It was more a team effort there. The Breakers will be heading back to New Zealand this Sunday, and have announced where another one of their games will be played, which is down in Rotorua. They'll be taking on the Taipans down there on the 2nd of June. Just remind us that they've got games in Auckland, New Plymouth, Christchurch as well lined up. Still, they haven't announced yet where the Illua Hawks game will be played on the 28th of May. So of those 7 games, really getting around the country there for the Breakers, which is great to see. Moving on to the NRL, and folks, don't forget that it's Magic Weekend this weekend, so no game on Thursday night. Tomorrow, it's a doubleheader on Friday with the West Tigers taking on the Knights and the Sea Eagles taking on the Broncos in what is the 10th round of the NRL. The Warriors are in action on Sunday, playing the Eels, 3:50 p.m. kickoff for that game. In the rugby then, and this weekend sees the start of the Super Rugby Trans-Tasman, and Frizzell has been left out of the Highlanders side for that one. Accusations of the weekend around what happened in a bar have been a distraction for him and for the squad, and they've decided that it's best for him to get his head straight on that one. They made it very clear this is not a punishment move. This is more about off-field issues causing distractions to the on-field issues. They'll be playing on Friday night, kicking things off against the Reds, the champions of Super Rugby AU from last weekend. We'll be live straight after the game with post-match reaction, so do join us for that. And also join Cornflake and Shane at around about 5 o'clock today. We'll be bringing you their preview of all of the Super Rugby Trans-Tasman games this weekend. Also, the Women's Rugby World Cup dates were announced yesterday. It'll kick off on the 8th of October 2022. Obviously, it's been postponed from this year. The tournament has been extended from 35 days to 43 days, which means all the teams will have 5 days rest between all of their games, or minimum of 5 days between all the games, which is good to see that on player welfare grounds for that one. Also, the dates confirm that it won't clash with the Sevens World Cup that is happening next year as well. You have now started the day the best way up. One last thing. Yesterday, BJ Watling announced his retirement, from all forms of Test cricket after the World Test final. The wicketkeeper batsman for the Black Caps will go down in history, having with the leading New Zealand with the number of wickets that a wicketkeeper has taken, recording 249 catches. That doesn't include 10 as a fielder as well, along with 8 stumpings, and with his Test average of just over 38 with the bat. But obviously, with 3 more Test matches to go, those numbers could improve with that one. So we wish him all of the best. You have now started the day the best way to speak all of the important sports news. Don't forget, as I say, that our Super Rugby preview will be coming out today, and I'll be back tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. with the morning sports briefing.